What is going on, listeners? You are checking it out here at the Nightmare Chronicles, a Dreamscape XL Nightmare Garden production podcast. I am joined by my co-host Celine Blackrose and our guest, the wonderful Serebro. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right.
I'm good.
We are coming at you guys here on September 17th in the evening, obviously, because it's probably dark as hell where everyone's at. I know it is out. I know it is here, so. The basics behind this podcast for those who are new or who have heard the Dreamscape XL podcast. Basically, we bring people on, interview them, talk about stuff. This is a little different from the Dreamscape XL podcast because it is more pertained around the lore, as I'm calling it, of Nightmare Garden, where it came from, and the ideas surrounding it. There is some music stuff inputted in this as well, but let's go ahead and get started with the first question. Rose, where did the idea for Nightmare Garden come from?
Well, that's actually an interesting question. Initially, it had a different name. It was the Warden HQ because I had an idea for a YouTube channel. But as that idea was not able to come to fruition, me and my admins at the time, we were talking about a rebranding. And since I went by Rose all the time, and because all of us had a very big love of horror-related games and movies and what have you, one of them suggested, why not just call it Nightmare Garden, and it stuck.
Okay. I genuinely think that Nightmare Garden is remnants of the old Purgatory, if you remember that, because it's got pretty much everyone plus more in there.
Do I remember that? Yes, I do remember that very well.
So, Cerebro, I don't. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Hmm?
Go ahead. You're getting ready to say something.
No.
Okay. Cerebro, I've only known you for quite a while, so I also just want to ask, how did you and Rose become friends? I know you guys were in the same server that we shall not name on air. I just want to kind of know the background of how you two became friends.
We became friends because one of my other friends invited me to that server that shall not be named, and then introduced me to Celine, who also plays one of my favorite games. And so we ended up hanging out, and we just discovered that we get along really, really well in general. So it works. Guild Wars 2.
There you go.
Ironically, it also involves Purgatory, because that's where we met.
Yep. Ye old Purgatory. Obviously, I don't know if me and Rose have been friends for about a year. My question to you, Rose, is why the hell did you become friends with my antic ass?
Well, you see, when I was invited to the server that shall not be named, I remember very vividly joining a VC, and 3 people were there, one of which I have completely cut contact with. The second one kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. The other one has become like a brother to me. That would be you.
That's fair.
But no, it's quite simply because, well, we vibe very well. I can understand you the way you understand me on levels that most people can't.
Right. So obviously, talking about getting back into Nightmare Garden, obviously there's some big changes coming up, or in the works of. One of them being, I say this with awe for the listeners. We are in the midst of working on a lot of cool stuff. I want to know the premise behind the roses, and then how that goes into the Nightmare Garden itself. Because, like I said earlier, to me it kind of feels like the outskirt, like Oblivion from the Elder Scrolls, where it's got many different parts. And you both can put your inputs on this.
Ooh, this is a very big package to unload on this one. So where to begin? I guess the best place to begin is actually to explain the theme of Nightmare Garden in general. You see, Nightmare Garden is a server that is a place where you can go hang out, have fun with your friends without having to worry about restraints of, oh, if I'm not active enough, I'm going to get kicked or what have you. It's a place that is drama-free, and by that I mean it is literally against the rules to bring outside drama into Nightmare Garden, and if drama starts within Nightmare Garden, it is quickly handled. The theme itself is picture a dreamlike scape, and this dream is nightmarish, but at the same time it is beautiful. Think kind of like glowing plants and fauna, kind of like Pandora from Avatar, if that makes any sense. So the idea...
Basically the unraveling of Pandora's box, so to speak.
The idea is that just because something seems to be nightmarish and horrifying doesn't mean that it's not still beautiful. It doesn't mean that just because it's nightmarish, it can't be a dream, if that makes sense. That there is beauty in darkness and horror. If I'm making sense with that.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense, actually. Cerebro, what do you think?
It makes perfect sense, and it's... I'll throw in there, this is the... This ties back almost to the classic goths, where there is beauty in all of the darkness. You need darkness in order to be able to see the light, but it has its own sort of beauty as well. I don't really have much to add to that, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. And like I said, we've got a lot of big stuff coming. Rose, with your permission, may I announce something?
Go ahead.
So, this has been a project that's been worked on, that's been talked about, tossed back and forth. I announced it in the Discord. It is for October 31st, 2025. Nightmare Garden will be hosting its first annual Halloween festival. With music from yours truly, J. Phil, a lot of activities, a lot of fun. I wanted to ask though, will there be a Halloween movie being played?
I don't know that we have time with all of that other stuff.
We haven't actually discussed that, but that is a good idea.
Well, there we go. We can add that to the list of stuff to be discussed.
So many discussions.
Oh, yes.
Well, all the more the plenty.
Now, you also asked about the roses and their significance. What exactly are you wanting to know?
Well, the name that keeps sticking, the name change of one got me very intrigued on how we're kind of trying to figure out which one to call, what to call it. But I'm stuck on like the Veil Weaver type name, but you wanted to call it something else. And I think it's a unique name, but you wanted to call it Dreamweaver.
Yes. It's still
So,
debating on it.
yeah.
Um,
But I guess that I was gonna say that ties into this. What are the significance of the names? And just like just give some. Don't have to give a whole lot. If you don't want to, that is up to you. But just what is the significance of the name, and what does it bring to the aspect of Nightmare Garden?
for the rose, or all the roses in general, or the veil weaver in.
Just the roses in general. I was gonna say you could pick one, kind of give the significance, or if you want to say what it is. It's your jurisdiction. I'll let you do it because you're the creator of all of it.
Okay, so to answer that question, that actually has a little bit more to it than just a simple explanation. So, along with the theme of Nightmare Garden, the idea is that there is a lot of lore behind it, and the reason why this lore, which is still in creation, mind you, so it's not all complete yet. The idea is that this lore will be able to be used for roleplay or D&D or other said fun activities that we can do within the server. People can come in and say they want to be a fairy or they want to be a dragon, and they can choose to take on that persona and talk like that in regular chat or in VC, or they can just choose to do it in roleplay or in D&D. To be fair, we still have to get those up and going, but that is a work in progress. Now, the roses have their keepers, the ones who watch over the roses. These roses are specifically designed and tailored to each keeper, who is an individual within Nightmare Garden, who is either an admin or someone who... Sorry, I just brain farted for a moment. Who has done something for Nightmare Garden, or has done something for someone within it, and has reached, special notification, so to say. It's like kind of like a badge of honor almost. I guess you could look at it like that. And like I said, each one is unique and different. So if I was to go and choose one, since the Veil Weaver, which is your rose, that one, actually, if you give me a moment, I'll actually pull up the description of it. That will help it out a little bit. Do-do-do. So just a basic, simple little intro, little title, I guess you could say for it. The Veil Weaver Rose. In its petals, the heart's fears are sketched into dreams, woven into visions that bloom from shadow. So, I want to ask you, Alucard, what does that mean to you?
In what aspect? I mean, I could put it towards some of the... And for those who don't know, that name, yes, I'm also codenamed Alucard because of Helsinger Bridge. Yeah, that...
Oops. Oops.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, they learned something new because I can do the voice just fine without any problems, and I just don't know what I'm doing.
Old habits. My bad.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Shit happens. I'm not mad. They just learned something new. So, I can put it in two aspects. One of them being music related, because obviously I do write music. The other one, in another aspect, is kind of like a I think it's a dream catcher, where it kind of the dream catcher itself is kind of like this web that all the dreams can be caught into and enter some mystical dream veil or something like that. I consider it kind of like a dream catcher or just some sort of aspect of, weaving dreams together inside of a, and this is going to be a play on word here, but weaving dreams together inside of a veil inside of a dreamscape, basically, in my imagination.
That is more or less it. You see, the name itself is the rose is based off of your dreamscape and the weaving of dreams and nightmares.
I suspect her
basically
being silly.
Your rose and your character.
Oh, did it die?
That is designed with the rose. You are essentially the one who weaves those dreams that dreamers see, or the nightmares that they experience. You do the balance between the dreams and the
we
nightmares.
Will manage.
Because that's one thing that Nightmare Garden is very much about, is balance between darkness and light and, dream and nightmare.
I don't... That's new because I've never had...
Yeah, it went solid. Can you guys hear me?
Out like that before.
Hello?
So, I'm just waiting for that message of some bitch.
Guys?
So,
well,
I guess we can go on to the...
Well, we can go on.
We can go
on with your Veil Weaver Rose and talk about it if you want. I mean, I've got the description available if you want.
Yeah, that works. So, I mean, take two. So I'm waiting for Rose to message. While I'm waiting for Celine to message me, we'll go ahead and continue. But like I said, though, I think the Veil Weaver Rose has two aspects. One of them being kind of like a mystic veil type thing, where there is, like, I want to say like a bunch of like dream spiders, weaving through webs and connecting these plots to this and all that. But it also kind of ties in with the description I gave too. It's like it all ties into one big dreamscape. Hardy har har, but because that's my name. But like I said, I feel like it's like a one big web of weavers, like weaver spiders. And she's back.
Yeah, I disconnected.
Welcome back.
I was gonna say, I thought your phone died, and I was like, well, I'm waiting for that message.
Nope, I disconnected.
Yeah. Well, how much of my description did you catch?
I was going into explaining, like, you had just got done talking. I was going to explain exactly how that would fit into you, how the rose and the keeper representing, the weaving and balance of nightmares and dreams. That was your character and Rose's role.
Yeah. And then you disappeared.
Yep, I disconnected.
Like I was telling Serebro, I was like, that's a first. I've never had someone just randomly dip out.
I had to switch to my data instead of on my phone, so are we gonna have to restart all that, or what's going on?
No, we can continue. It's fine. Like Cerebro actually was one step ahead. She actually had the description of the rose popped up as well.
So let's talk about the appearance of it.
Ooh, you are echoey. Why are you echoey?
Oh, hold on.
Am I echoey?
Oh, yes.
You have your headset on?
I can hear my headset, but I should not be echoing. Yeah, there's only one input coming.
I don't know what it is then. I mean, I've heard sounds fine, but Cerebro is very underwatery. Weird.
You're just not used to me on a mic that actually catches my voice?
I mean, you sounded fine before, but now it's weird. Maybe it's just on my end. We'll see.
But yeah, I was gonna say I'm not. I'm intrigued on the appearance thing. So.
Well, what it says is that the Veil Reaver Rose unfurls itself in a hauntingly beautiful gradient. Outer petals of deep black, curling inward towards streaks of rich crimson, with glowing veins of violet and delicate touches of shimmering pink along the edges. At its heart, faint motes of dreamlight flicker and swirl like threads of starlight caught in a loom.
That's the best description of something I've ever heard in my life.
It's gorgeous. When approached...
You said there's crimson in there?
Yes, there is.
I think I need to change my Discord handle to the Crimson Fucker now.
Please don't.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be PG-13, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, hell no. I'm already cussing up a storm. There's no way this is PG-13.
When approached, its petals ripple as if stirred by an unseen breeze, whispering fragments of both nightmare and hopes. Its pollen drifts in threads of light and shadow, weaving itself into the dreams of those nearby, sometimes stitching broken hearts together, other times binding fears into beautiful illusions. This rose symbolizes the courage found within vulnerability, the dreams born of both joy and sorrow, and the alchemy of shadow into creation. And we've got lore about it, too. It's said to have been born from the union of two roses, the shadow heart that absorbs fear, and the dream weaver that spins imagination. The Veil Weaver Rose appears only where dreamers face their greatest trials. To drink its dew is to embrace both fear and wonder, gaining visions of what lies beyond the veil of the self. Yet the visions granted are never simple. They mirror both a dreamer's darkest wound and their brightest potential. So that's what we've got so far about just the rose itself. And then there's all the stuff about the keeper, too.
Well, I am learning a lot of things that I did not think I was going to learn today, but that's also kind of the premise of this whole ordeal. So,
Well, if we want to talk about the keeper, then we can also talk about the the ethereal Dreadsire. That guy.
We don't need to talk about him yet, do we?
We won't go into that but we will point out that the ethereal Dreadsire is the father of vampires. He has 3 children, one born of blood, one born of mind, and the other born of spirit. The one born of mind is the keeper of the Veil Weaver Rose. And and has the ability to not drink blood because he is a vampire, but he is a vampire that drinks memory and dreams instead. Cerebro, if you don't mind, could you read that? Because you have an amazing reading voice.
Which one?
The one
Which
about
one?
the keeper of the Veil Weaver Rose.
Sure. So, the quote about the Veil Weaver Keeper. He drinks the threads of dreams and rewrites them in his own loom of night. In appearance, the Keeper of the Veil Weaver Rose is a tall, ethereal vampire draped in robes that shift between black silk, violet shadow, and threads of glowing crimson and pink, as though the attire is woven from the very fabric of his dreams. His skin is pale as carved marble, but faint glimmers of starlight shimmer beneath it, as though his veins carry a constellation's glow. His hair falls in waves of deep obsidian with streaks of amethyst, while his eyes burn with twin irises, one crimson, one violet, a reflection of his duality, nightmare and dream. Around his hands coil living strands of shadow thread and rose petals, which he uses to sculpt and snare dreamscapes. His fangs, long and silver-tipped, glimmer with a faint sheen of rose dew. Nature and role, unlike other vampiric keepers, he's less a hunter of flesh than a drinker of dreams. He feeds by sipping from the nightmares and fantasies of dreamers, weaving the fragments into living illusions that can ensnare, terrify, or inspire. He is both a predator and a creator, a curator of the subconscious. Of course, for role-playing purposes and as a legend within the garden, he has a few abilities. The Dream Drinker's Kiss. By biting into a dreamer, he drains their dream essence, leaving them hollow yet pliant. Another ability is the Loom of Night. With gestures, he spins threads of light and shadow into entire dreamscapes, weaving illusions that can trap dreamers in beauty or in horror. A third skill, the Petals of Binding. Veilweaver rose petals swirl around him like moths, and when commanded, they cocoon dreamers, binding them within visions of their deepest fears or desires. And then he can craft echoes of dreamers, fragile illusions that wander the nightmare garden, repeating fragments of their lost dreams. In personality, he is mysterious, alluring, and hauntingly elegant. He's both artist and monster, with a voice like velvet shadow, often speaking in riddles that blur truth and dream. To some, he is a muse, but to others he is a tormentor. His mercy is rare, but when he chooses, he gifts dreamers with visions of their untapped brilliance, thereby reshaping their lives forever. Legends whisper that he was once a mortal poet who sought to capture every dream of humankind, but in his obsession, he offered his soul to the nightmare goddess. She remade him into a vampire keeper, eternally bound to the Veilweaver rose, condemned to both consume and create the fragile beauty of dreams. His rose groves are said to be impossible labyrinths of shifting dreamscapes, where time and self unravel. As you can tell, we've got quite a bit of lore with these guys. And he's one of, 20-ish?
Let's see.
How many are there now, Celine?
Right now, there is the Council of Roses, or the Court of Roses. There are 13 of them. There is the Legendary Roses. There's about 6 of those. Then there is the Court of Ash and the Court of Blood.
That's like 24 right there. We're pushing it.
That's only a fraction of what's still to come. Because I intend for there to be a full bestiary full of descriptions of fauna and flora that can be found throughout the Nightmare Garden, complete with maps with like towns and different locations. All of this with descriptions and pictures for visuals to help the imagination be able to picture it. The idea is for Nightmare Garden to be a fantasy setting.
I mean, I am awestruck by what I heard about the Veil Weaver Rose. Like, that was, I caught myself kind of smirking a little bit.
It was.
Is it accurate?
Yeah, I mean,
Or just the way that she worked the word Dreamscape into there multiple times.
I think it's hilarious how that got warped in there a few times.
You know, we could actually change it from Veil Weaver to Dreamscape Rose.
Yes, because I think
It's got a new name.
Because here's what I also started laughing, kind of chuckling to myself about. I flipped my microphone up, so here's the beautiful part about it. I immediately started thinking, like, well, I'm hearing this, I'm putting it on, listening to it all. I decided to pull up on my separate screen here something that I find very interesting, because I mean, it kind of holds some, like, kind of holds true to everything too. I pulled up a bunch of my stuff for Through the Looking Glass, my 11th upcoming album, and I'm like, this kind of puts more into both things all at once, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. What if we could change the Rose name instead of Veil Weaver into Dreamscape? And then you said that, and I'm just like, I'm for it. Fuck it. Whatever.
I mean, to be fair, as I said, the Rose and the Keeper are 100% based off of you and what you have told me, what I know about your music. I mean, you've even gone so far and paired with J. Phil and created music for Nightmare Garden and myself. And so using that, using what I know about you and your music style, I created, the Dreamscape Rose and Dreamscape Rose Keeper.
Well, I can definitely say that I have interesting. I can definitely say that one song that will become my new theme is Demonology. Oh man, I'm learning more on the I'm learning more through the podcast than I am anything else. Holy cow!
Now, if you would like to talk about some of the other roses, there's actually someone right here that you can actually ask about their rose and their keeper. Isn't that right, Cerebro?
I guess we can talk about the Whisperleaf Rose if you'd like.
The Whisperleaf.
Yes, the Whisperleaf.
Simulator.
Of course you did.
Well, I mean, we can go into that too. I don't want to spill so many secrets that we have going on. But if you feel up to it, floor is yours.
Well, I mean, how many of these are you going to go through over the course of the podcast?
Well, since we got about 24, 25-ish, probably do 3 per show.
Sorry, but I want to get into it.
So, I guess we'll talk about the Whisperleaf then.
There we go.
And I hate talking about myself.
don't worry, so do I. But it's like it's an ego booster
But it is
at
what
this
it
point.
is. What it is. So the whisper leaf rose is. It tends to just absorb the background, unspoken words, silent contemplations, hushed counsels, and that is it. It reflects the way that I do things. I'm often here. I'm listening, but I'm generally fairly quiet. But then, then when it's needed, I will use that information to give wise counsel, and that's something that I've kind of always done. So it makes sense that I have a rose that features that. A quote about the whisper leaf rose is that it blooms where words dare not reach, petals cradling the murmurs of forgotten truths. And I often don't speak about what I know until it's time, until it's needed. In appearance, the whisper leaf rose unfurls in light pale teal petals streaked with tangerine orange that radiate from its center. Its edges are finely serrated, as if perpetually quivering in quiet anticipation. Crystalline dew collects on the petal tips, glowing faintly like captured whispers. Leaves are smoky muted green, edged with pale teal, and the stems twist in soft brown veins with inward curving tangerine thorns that guard the knowledge within. This rose absorbs nearby whispers and fleeting thoughts, occasionally releasing faint murmurs into the air. Its petals glow softly when secrets are near, and those who touch it may glimpse hidden truths or forgotten knowledge, though lingering too long can subtly alter one's own memories. It thrives in shaded glades or near reflective pools, where its whispers can shimmer across the surface like dancing firelight. It symbolizes hidden knowledge, secrets, insight, and fleeting truths. Legends tell of the rose growing where silent contemplations or hushed counsels occur, gathering the unspoken words of mortals and spirits alike. Scholars and mystics seek it to unlock truths unseen, but the rose is selective. It rewards only those patient and perceptive enough to listen, while careless hands risk losing themselves to its subtle influence. So that's kind of where the rose itself is. And then my keeper, the whisperleaf rose keeper, is also the sentinel of secrets and forgotten truths. The keeper of the whisperleaf rose takes the form of a tall, graceful woman, her presence serene, yet subtly commanding. Her robes are flowing pale teal and soft tangerine silks, the colors of her rose, shifting gently like ripples of wind over water. Her hair is long and streaked with silver and teal, cascading like liquid light, and her eyes glow warm amber, deep with the wisdom of decades spent guarding unspoken knowledge. Around her shoulders, a cloak of petals seems to whisper or it seems to ripple with unseen whispers. Crystalline dewdrops cling to the edges, shimmering faintly, reflecting the secrets the keeper has gathered. Her fingers are long and delicate, often brushing the petals as though listening to their murmurs. She is the oldest of the keepers, embodying patience, wisdom, and discernment. The keeper watches over whispered truths and hidden knowledge, revealing them only to those who are ready to understand. Her presence nurtures the whisper leaf roses, amplifying their ability to absorb, store, and occasionally release secrets. She is both protective and discerning, gentle to the worthy, but implacable to those who would misuse knowledge. Her abilities: the veil of silence. She can shroud glades in a quiet, dreamlike haze, preventing the unready from hearing the rose's whispers. The murmur of truths. Touching her or her rose may reveal fleeting glimpses of forgotten memories or hidden wisdom. Echo of secrets. She can replay captured whispers, letting them flow around dreamers in soft teal and orange light, granting insight or disorientation if misused. Guardian's insight. Her gaze can discern the intent of any who approach, revealing whether they are worthy of the rose's knowledge. Legends tell that the keeper of the Whisperleaf Rose has watched the Nightmare Garden longer than any other keeper, quietly gathering unspoken truths. Scholars, mystics, and dreamers speak of her in reverent tones, claiming that a single encounter can illuminate connections between secrets or reveal truths unseen by others. Though her knowledge is vast, she acts with gentle caution, granting insight to those who approach with patience, humility, and respect. Now, looking at that and looking at, the oldest of the keepers, yeah, I am. By a few years.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only grandma out of the keepers.
What? I feel like that was intentionally done, but at the same time, I don't know.
Why would I? Would I intentionally did something like that? Yes, I did.
Yes, she would.
Love it.
But
Plus,
that bit about illuminating connections between secrets or revealing truths unseen by others. Yeah. One of my blessings and curses throughout my life has been that I'm a big picture girl. Always have been.
So when I made your rose and your keeper, my inspiration behind it was you're very much so a motherly figure to, well, a lot of people. And I was like, well, how can I incorporate this without being offensive? So I thought about it. And I also took into account how you're very quiet. You're always listening. And if someone comes to you for advice, especially if they do it respectfully, then you're always there to give that advice. But if they don't come to you in a respectful manner, I've seen you pop off.
There's a certain amount of,
So, to incorporate that motherly aspect, I made you the eldest of the keepers. I didn't make you grandma age. But I did make it noted that you were the older one and you were the wisest. And then I incorporated in that, you're quiet, you listen, and you give advice.
Generally.
I
give advice.
Um, I mean, do you have any other questions, or you like to ask me about your keeper and your rose?
No, honestly, I feel it suits me pretty well. It's fairly accurate.
As I said, each rose and keeper are specifically crafted and detailed after a specific person. And it takes a lot of work. It's not easy. But I try to capture that person's essence to where you can tell it's them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And that's actually... That's one of the things that I love so much about this project. Is the very, very custom...
Now, every now and then, whenever I do this, whenever I make the rose or the keeper, I send it to the person. That way they can look at it first and give me their insight. Most of the time, people is like, okay, yes, I love that. Let's go with that. A couple of times, people have said, what, let's tweak this little thing about it. Okay, it's your rose, your keeper. How do you want to tweak it? There have been a couple of times where, one in particular, that is not been released yet, that I've had to do a complete rewrite of everything. Made the keeper, made the rose, made complete backstory, made an entire order based on it, and then showed it to them. They loved it, and then they decided, you know what, let's restart. I'm not going to say which ones that is, but oof. You said you wanted to talk about possibly 3 different roses?
Well, yeah, if we're able to. I mean, I don't know if that'd be something you'd want to do, but...
Well, let's see. We could talk about the Midnight Rose, which is my rose.
Yeah, let's cover yours.
Okie dokie. So it's based off of my Celine Blackrose persona that I have. Particularly my protective nature and my leadership nature. And, well, Serebro, if you don't mind, you do a whole lot better at the reading thing than I do.
The Midnight Rose. It is said the stars themselves bow to this blossom, for within it lies a galaxy. In appearance, the Midnight Rose unfurls in velvety petals of deepest black, darker than moonless skies, their edges kissed with faint violet radiance. At its heart glows a soft, luminous core of violet light, scattered with shifting silver motes that resemble distant constellations. When fully opened, this bloom resembles a fragment of the night sky itself, its petals drinking in the surrounding light until only the star-flecked brilliance remains. The Midnight Rose blooms only at the true stroke of midnight, its petals spiraling open in solemn silence. Its pollen does not fall to the earth, but instead drifts upward like stardust, forming temporary constellations that shimmer before fading into the dark. If plucked, the rose withers instantly at dawn, leaving only a scattering of silver dust in its place. It symbolizes hidden truths veiled in shadow, the cosmos within the soul, and the beauty and wisdom that can only be found in darkness. Legends say that the midnight rose was the first flower planted by the dream-born constellations, a gift to the nightmare garden, so that even its shadows would hold light. To behold the bloom is to glimpse the universe folded within the self, infinite, mysterious, and untouchable. Dreamers who drink the dew collected from its petals claim to awaken with visions of their truest essence, stripped of lies and illusions. Some are inspired, but others are broken by what they see. Its uses in dream lore. And drinking its dew unveils the hidden truths within dreams, revealing the dreamer's innermost self. Scattered petals placed beneath one's pillow are said to guide dreamers through the stars, allowing them to walk cosmic paths in their sleep. Ritualists weave its golden pollen into dream charms, using it to seek forgotten wisdom or to chart courses through fate's night sky. And then talking about the keeper itself. The Keeper of the Midnight Rose is also known as the Guardian of Shadow and Starlight. She's a dark warrior of haunting beauty, clad not in flowing gowns, but in battle-forged attire that blends elegance with deadly grace. Her raven black hair cascades like liquid night, long and windswept, framing her pale moonlit face. Her amethyst eyes burn with an inner galaxy, radiant and piercing, revealing not only her strength, but the truths hidden within others. Her armor is wrought of blackened steel and silver filigree, etched with constellations that shimmers faintly when she moves. Violet light glimmers from the cracks in her armor, as though starlight itself has been sealed within her. Around her waist, a belt of thorns and roses binds her to her sacred charge, the midnight roses that bloom in her shadow. Unlike the goddesses she serves, the Keeper is no divine figure, but a sentinel, a warrior sworn to guard the Nightmare Garden's most sacred bloom, the midnight rose. She stands as both shield and executioner, ensuring that no trespasser claims its starlit power unbidden. Where the goddess represents revelation and eternity, the Keeper represents choice and consequence. Those who face her must prove themselves worthy, or be swallowed by her garden's eternal night. The Keeper's abilities are the amethyst eyes of judgment. With a single gaze, she pierces the masks of mortals, revealing the truths they'd rather keep hidden. The unworthy falter, unable to face themselves. Starlit blade. She wields a curved blade forged from violet starlight, its edge scattering silver sparks, as if each swing carves through the night sky itself. The thorn-bound shield. Midnight roses bloom to her command, their thorned vines weaving into an unbreakable barrier that can either trap or protect. And she's an eternal sentinel, bound to the Nightmare Garden. Her spirit cannot be destroyed. Even if struck down, she will rise again at midnight when her rose blooms anew. It's said that the Keeper was once a mortal dreamer who beheld the midnight rose and did not wither beneath its truth. Instead, she rose transformed, her body forged into living armor of shadow and starfire, her soul entwined with the eternal bloom. Unlike the goddess, who's distant and untouchable, the keeper is ever present, watching, testing, and guarding. Those who seek the midnight rose must face her not only in battle, but in spirit, for she wields the power to lay bare their truest self. To prevail against her is not merely to survive. It is to endure the weight of one's own soul and prove it worthy of the galaxy hidden within the rose. And have I mentioned just how much I love all of the lore here?
So,
The lore sounds great.
so the ability to see the truth, that comes from my very well-known bluntness and getting straight to the point of something. Like, say, if drama happens, I go and get straight to what the source of it was and stop it there. I have a very keen ability to see the truth in lies, and that's what I brought into the Rose and into the Keeper. There is actually a hidden connection between the Keeper and the Goddess, which has not been revealed, which, you know what, I think I will reveal now. So where it says that
We're getting an insider. We're getting an inside scoop right now.
Indeed.
Yeah, we are. Sounds like it.
Oh shit!
Indeed. I will actually hold off on that for right this moment. Cerebro, if you don't mind reading what is given about the Nightmare Garden goddess, then I will reveal that hidden little insight.
The goddess of the Nightmare Garden. The Black Rose. She is the bloom of shadow, the dream made flesh. A beauty too terrible and too wondrous to behold without trembling. In appearance, she's an otherworldly vision of haunting perfection. Her ebony black hair falls in silken waves down her back, shimmering with faint undertones of midnight blue, like the sky at its deepest hour. Her eyes are radiant amethyst, glowing softly with the power of dreams and illusions, both alluring and unsettling, as though they see every secret hidden in the soul. Her lips are the crimson of roses, a flash of living color against her pale moonlit skin. From her back sped vast, black feathered wings, but not ordinary wings. Their feathers shimmer with pinpricks of starlight, like constellations drifting across a night sky, giving the impression that she carries the heavens themselves upon her back. When they unfurl, they eclipse all light, casting her domain in sacred twilight. Her gown is woven of shadow and thorned roses, petals of crimson and black flowing seamlessly into midnight silks, embroidered with veins of silver that glimmer faintly like moonlight on still water. Around her temples curls a crown of dark roses, some of which bloom, others wither, symbolizing life and death entwined. She's the sovereign of the Nightmare Garden, a realm of eternal twilight where roses bloom with dreamlike powers and keepers dwell as her children. Unlike gods of tyranny or destruction, she does not force her will upon mortals. She invites them into awe and mystery, giving them beauty and shadow in equal measure. Her domain is both a sanctuary and a trial. Dreamers may find solace, peace, and revelation within their gardens, or lose themselves among the roses forever. She embodies both the terror and the allure of dreams, beautiful, fragile, eternal, and unknowable. Her abilities, bloom of shadows. With a thought, she can cause roses to spring forth, each with its own dream-woven power. Some heal, some reveal truth, some ensnare, others wound. The Dreamweaver's gaze. Her amethyst eyes bend dreams and illusions, weaving entire landscapes of memory, desire, or fear. The wings of night. When she unfurls her wings, she can cloak all around her in living starlit darkness, both sanctuary and prison. Kiss of the rose. With the touch of her lips, she can grant dreamless rest, eternal sleep, or the courage to bloom anew. Queen of Keepers. She's the mother and mistress of all keepers of the roses, their power drawn from her, their loyalty bound to her garden. It's told that she was born from the first black rose that bloomed in the void before dawn. From it she rose fully formed, carrying in her veins the essence of beauty, sorrow, and eternity. She wandered the shadows of existence, and, with her hands, sowed the first roses into the soil of dreams, creating the Nightmare Garden as her eternal sanctuary. Mortals whisper of her with both devotion and fear. Some call her the Mother of Roses, who blesses those who come with reverence. Others name her the Queen of Shadows, whose beauty can ensnare the soul forever. To glimpse her is to see beauty untainted, and to be changed by it, whether for joy or despair. Her greatest rival is the tyrant sun, who seeks to burn her garden into ash. Yet where his domain is lifeless and cruel, hers thrives in twilight, always blooming, always changing, a living testament to the fleeting beauty of dream and night. So that's the goddess.
Whoa.
So did you notice any similarities between the keeper of the Midnight Rose and the goddess?
Just a few.
So that hidden connection, the reason why the goddess is said to be distant while the keeper is ever present, is because they are one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in a way you could look at it is that the keeper is the goddess in mortal form, I guess you could say. It's her way of being present without being known that she's present, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
I mean, I'm just fascinated by all the lore I'm hearing.
And we're barely even scratching the surface, being honest.
Yeah.
There
are about 20 more to do.
Such as with the Tyrant Sun that was mentioned. You know, it wasn't mentioned in the goddess's lore, but if you actually read the Tyrant Sun's lore, you will find that the Tyrant Sun was actually her brother. And at first, they got along very well. But the Tyrant Sun, he grew jealous of, you know, her beauty and the beauty that she brought. And it got to the point to where he got so jealous that he wanted to see it end. Because his landscapes weren't like that. And so the more he became jealous and obsessed, and with bringing her mysterious beauty to an end, his domain became more desolate and war-torn. And so he's constantly trying to burn down her garden, and she is rebuilding it. Which is another reason why she takes on the form of the keeper of the Nightmare Rose. Nightmare Rose, wow, listen to me. The Midnight Rose.
Oh, wow.
Um, and she's only one of the pantheon of Nightmare Garden. Just one. Um, just one of them. I intend for there to be about 7 for the pantheon, and that's the good gods and goddesses. Then you're gonna have the Court of Ash. That is the ones that are with the Tyrant Sun. There's gonna be, including the Tyrant Sun, about 3, 4, or 5 of them. Then you have the Court of Blood, which those are based around the ethereal Dreadsire. Whew, he's something else. That's
even in a magic card form, he is something else.
He's utterly terrifying, and each of his 3 children are each terrifying in their own right, especially the one that was born for soul. Each of his 3 children, each of them are vampires. One, as I said before, born of blood. The second, born of mind. The third, born of soul. Each one drinks their respective aspects. So the one born of blood drinks blood. The one born of mind drinks memories and dreams. And the one born of soul, he is a dark god and is very, very evil. He drinks soul, and his hunger is never sated. He's terrifying. Ugh. Absolutely terrifying. Then you also have the Scions of the Scarlet Blade, which are a cult of assassins that serve or, well, worship the Dreadfather, is what one of the ways they see him. They see him as the Dreadsire, the multiple different names for him. They go and they start out as basic assassins, and once they get high enough in rank, they take the Oath of Silence, or the Silent Covenant, and in doing so, they swear off talking at all, or making sound, and so they undergo a ritual where their vocal cords are actually damaged to where they cannot speak again, and they remain eternally silent. Yeah. And at risk of disconnecting again, I will actually read a little bit from one of the things. Let's see, where's it at? See, that's that one, not the one I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, so I'll read the Crimson Testament, which is supposed to be recited by vampires before feeding, because the vampires, they see the Dreadsire as their, well, father of all vampires. And so they call him the Nameless One. And so before they do a ritualistic feeding, they recite this little testament. Blood flows. Blood belongs to the Nameless One. It flows from the living, and it flows back to him. We drink not to kill, but to continue. We drink not for pleasure, but for truth. Each drop binds us to the first hunger. Each drop sings of the inevitability of all things. We are his children. We are eternal, and yet we are nothing. We do not judge, nor are we judged. We are the reflection of what must be. When the last heartbeat falters, when the last life is drawn into the void, he will remain, and we will remain feeding, watching, eternal. Blood is his gift. Blood is his law. Blood is the bridge between what is and what must always be. A ritual note: vampires dip their fangs in the blood before feeding to honor the sire. Feeding is always accompanied by silent contemplation of inevitability, never indulgence. The testament is never spoken aloud except in ritual. It is a whisper in the mind, as the sire himself is ever present. Let's see. So that's the Crimson Testament. So here's the one I was looking for. The Litany of the First Blood, recited by Scions of the Scarlet Blade before the blade falls. Before time there was silence, but silence trembled, and from its pulse came blood. Blood is eternal. Blood flows. Blood spills. Blood is taken. It belongs not to the living, but to the nameless one. We are the hands of inevitability. We are the knives of silence. We are scions of the Scarlet Blade. When blood spills, it returns to him. When breath ceases, it returns to him. When hunger stirs, it is his will made flesh. We offer this life as tithe. We offer this blood as scripture. We offer this silence as prayer. For he was before all things. He is now in all things, and he will be after all things. Ritual note: the scion traditionally cut their palms and let a drop of their own blood fall on the blade before reciting the litany. After the killing, they anoint the corpse's lips with a trace of blood and whisper only, "Return." Where's it at?
There's still so much lore that I have not even...
A lot of which I haven't fully released yet because I'm still working on it. Here, this is the First Blood. It is the First Blood, the myth of the ethereal Dreadspire. This is one of the many myths surrounding him. Uh-oh. Hold on. Drop my earbud. Sorry about that. Alright. So, before time, before gods, before even death had meaning, there was silence. Yet silence was not empty. It trembled with a pulse, and from that pulse came blood eternal, flowing through the void without vessel or form. The blood knew nothing of good or evil, only the truth. To flow is to be, to spill is to end, to drink is to continue. From this truth rose the ethereal Dreadsire. He was not born, he was not shaped, he simply was. The first shadow of hunger, the first silence of death, the first promise of sacrifice. The birth of vampires. It is said that when the first mortals began to breathe, they carried blood within them, the sire's essence, burrowed for a fleeting time. borrowed, sorry. But blood always returns to its source. One among the mortals, consumed by longing for eternity, drank too deeply of the living and did not die. Her heart ceased to beat, yet her hunger burned eternal. The sire looked upon her and whispered, "You are mine, you are my child." Thus the first vampire was born, not as a curse nor as a gift, but as an inevitability, the natural consequence of blood's return to the sire. All who follow in that lineage are bound to him, carrying his hunger forever. The birth of the scions of the Scarlet Blade. Now, I may slip up and say Aetherborn because that was originally their name, and I haven't edited this yet, so if I do, just know that's who I'm talking about.
Ether drifted.
Yep. In time, mortals came to fear and revere him. Some did not seek eternity, but instead sought to serve the sire through the blade. They saw murder not as a crime, but as ritual, a holy act by which blood was offered back into the void. Thus the assassins took their oaths of silence, becoming the scions of the Scarlet Blade, vessels of inevitability. To kill was prayer. To spill blood was scripture. To live without offering death was heresy. They do not believe they worship a god. Rather, they serve a truth older than gods. The eternal silence. The myth ends with a prophecy whispering among the scions of the Scarlet Blade that carried in the marrow of vampires. When the last star fades and all creation is swallowed by silence, the ethereal Dreadsire will remain. He will gather the last drop of blood from every world, every vein, every sacrifice, and drink it into himself. In that moment, all will be silence once more, as it was before, as it must be again. Terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Now there is one more. Then this one actually involves you, Dreamscape. So you're going to get mentioned in this.
You've piqued my curiosity.
Let's see, where is it at? The myth of the three roses, as spoken in the Scarlet Litany of the Dread Sire. The birth of the roses. Before the first heartbeat, before the first death, there was only the nameless one, the ethereal Dreadsire, father of vampires, who was neither born and never made, but who always was and always shall be. From his silence followed hunger, and from hunger came his three children, each a rose blooming in the void, each a keeper of their own dominion. The eldest, the blood-thorn rose. The first to bloom was crimson and black, its thorns slick with ichor. From it stepped a daughter, pale and beautiful, crowned in blood. She drank of blood and flesh, and thus became the first vampire, mother of thirst and keeper of the blood-thorn rose. She was hunger made body, and her fangs marked a covenant between predator and prey. Her gift, the draining of blood, mana, and mortal strength. Her curse, eternal thirst, never quenched. Her title, the Scarlet Mother, keeper of the blood thorn. The second, the Veil Weaver Rose. The second to bloom was woven of silver shadow, its petals like veils of mist. From it walked the sun, fair yet haunted, eyes like dreamlight dimmed. He drank not of blood, but of memory and dream, and so became the first vampire of the mind, master of illusions, nightmare, and forgetting. His gift, the power to feed upon dream and unravel memory. His curse, to never dream himself, to walk in endless waking. His title, the Pale Dreamer, Keeper of the Veil Weaver Rose. The third, the Soul Blight Rose. The last to bloom was black as void fire, petals gleaming with trapped faces. From its heart rose a sun, tall and skeletal, his gaze burning with violet flame. He drank not of blood, nor of memory, but of the soul itself. His hunger was beyond mortal or immortal, and in him vampirism ascended into divinity. His gift, the dominion over souls, their imprisonment, their consumption. His curse, an eternal hunger that even godhood could not still. His title, the Soul Eater, Keeper of the Soul Blight Rose. The Trinity of Roses, thus were the three children born. The eldest, who feasts upon blood, the second, who feasts upon dreams, and the third, who feasts upon the soul. Together they are called the Dark Trinity of Roses, and in their petals are written the destinies of all vampires, body, mind, and spirit, bound in eternal hunger. The Scions whisper. The Scions of the Scarlet Blade recite. From the sire came roses three, one red, one silver, one black. Blood, dream, soul. The body weakens, the mind unravels, the spirit is lost. Thus is hunger eternal, thus is silence inevitable, thus is the nameless Father exalted.
I've wondered why I heard a keyboard screaming for help.
Yes.
All I heard was just a subtle tacking of keyboard screaming for help, and I'm just like, oh crap.
So
either getting a lengthy message sent to him, or
So I actually forgot about the second part to that myth. The Forbidden Bloom, the prophecy of the three roses united. The hidden verse. The Scions say that in the deepest vaults of the Nightmare Garden, etched upon obsidian roots, lies a verse that even the Dreadsire's children dare not speak aloud. When the roses bloom as one, flesh shall wilter, dreams shall shatter, souls shall burn, and silence shall reign forever. The prophecy of union. The bloodthorn rose will bleed until rivers run dry, and every mortal heart beats its last. The Veil Weaver Rose will unravel all memory, until even the gods forget their own names. The Soul Blight Rose will drink the last soul, until nothing remains to resist. When these three hungers are united, the roses will no longer be many, but one. The final bloom, a black flower that opens in the void of creation itself. The final bloom. It is said this flower is not of the garden, nor of the world, but of the Dreadsire's own silence. Its petals are the color of absolute nothingness. Its stem roots in the corpse of reality. Its fragrance is the last sigh of the last soul. When it opens, there will be no gods, no mortals, no dreams, no blood, only the Dreadsire, the roses, and silence eternal. The Scions fear. The Scions of the Scarlet Blade whisper that each assassination, each sacrifice, each drop of blood returned to the sire is a petal placed upon the final bloom. Some among them see this as a sacred duty to hasten the bloom, to bring about the end. Others fear it, and work in silence to slow its coming. For if the roses unite, even the children themselves shall be consumed, their hunger sated only in their own annihilation. Forbidden whisper. Beware the bloom of three, for in its shadow none may flee. Blood, dream, soul, all undone, when the roses bloom as one.
So I'm just like heavy thinking here. We may have to make this a part 2. We may have to make a part 2 with all 3 of us once again.
There's still a lot of ground to cover.
There is, and I feel like if we're gonna have to make this a part 2, because like Serebro said, we're already we're approaching almost an hour and a half. We've been on air. We've been recording this episode for almost an hour and 26 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And we're barely even, like, scratching the surface.
Yeah, we just got started.
Yes, there is so much lore here that
It's basically like Christmas time. There's just a lot of Pandora boxes that are going to be left unopened, but it would also lead into the listeners wanting to know more. So I mean, hell, you know.
Hopefully, by what we've already talked about, what we've already read, it shows the duality of Nightmare Garden, the beauty and the nightmare, the mystery and, you know, the unseen coming into light. How even nightmarish things can be absolutely beautiful, but how also seemingly beautiful, harmless things can also be extremely dangerous.
Right.
What other questions did you have for me? You said you had about 8 of them.
Well, actually, I scrapped the questions after we started getting into the lore of the roses, because this whole ordeal turned into basically kind of the subterranean premise of this podcast as well, just getting into the lore based up that we're building behind the server and the stuff we're putting towards it. So it's like, well, I'm just gonna flick my microphone up to my head, just flick my microphone up, and I'm just gonna let y'all tell stories and tell lore. To say I'm baffled about some of the lore is just like, oh, okay.
Well, I guess a good note to end on, since you are talking about wrapping it up, is that anyone who actually wants to join the server is more than welcome to.
Yep. And with this will be going on Spotify, and this will also be going on YouTube. On YouTube, for those who watch on YouTube, I will be, if it's with permission from the server owner, I put the link down in the description.
I don't know how long the actual link itself would stick around, so we'd have to make a more permanent link.
We can do that. There we go. That is trivially easy to do.
If anything, if that doesn't work out, then we can set it up to where, say, they can contact you or I, and we can get them into the server.
Okay.
As I said, everyone is welcome. All I ask is, you know, just come, hang out, and have fun, and leave drama at the door.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, that wraps it up for part 1 of probably many. So we're definitely gonna have to get everyone back in the same group. Basically, get everyone back in the same line. once again. But I say this has been a successful episode. You guys, the listeners, got to learn more about the server and learn some lore. Yeah, any part other than that, if you want to join the server, please get a hold of myself, or I can direct you to Bros as well. Other than that, any other parting messages?
I don't have any. Come join us, have fun.
Right.
It's been a pleasure being here. We hope to see you guys soon.
Yep.
We listen to a very wide amount of music. We play very, very various games of all kinds. And we love meeting new people. So come on, have fun, hang out, talk, game. Doesn't really matter. And so long as you're having fun and you're happy. And, well, it's been a joy doing this, and I look forward to doing more.
Right. Alrighty. Well, this has been the Nightmare Chronicles, episode 1, with myself, DJ Dreamscape, Celine Blackrose, and Serebro. Signing off and telling you guys to have a good night. Be sure to comment down below if you want to join the server. Like I said, this will be going up on YouTube and Spotify, but this is DJ Dreamscape signing off with Celine Blackrose and Cerebro. Have a good night, everybody.